Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here welcoming you all in today's lecture. In the previous lecture we have discussed about how liquids are having different types of surfaces, different shapes on their surfaces. So when the pressure inside the liquid and outside the liquid, that is the atmospheric pressure, if that both are equal, that time the surface is flat like in figure 10.19a. But if the pressure inside the liquid is more, then the liquid is having the convex surface. Okay, when the pressure inside the liquid is less, then the liquid is having the concave surface as in figure C. And we have already discussed that at the concave side the pressure is always more in comparison with the convex side. Okay, so this is just to remind you that what we have studied yesterday. Now let's move to today's topic. So today our first topic is excess pressure inside a liquid drop. Okay, so if you imagine a liquid drop, it is spherical. Okay, and the outer side is having the convex surface. The inner side, if we look, it is the concave surface. Okay, that convex and concave when I am saying, so you please remember that if this is one uh, liquid drop. Okay, so from inside when we will look, so it looks like concave surface. Okay, this look like concave surface, but when we look from the outside, so it is a bulging out part, so it looks like a convex surface. So from inside the surface is concave and from outside the surface is convex. And as we have already discussed in previous lecture that the concave surface is having more pressure in comparison with the convex one. So here in liquid drop, where the pressure will be more? Obviously inside the liquid drop. Okay, so inside the drop pressure is always more in comparison with the outer sides. Okay, so because of this excess pressure, what happened? The size of the drop increases. So here in front of you, you can see figure 10.20. Here the center of a liquid, okay, center of a liquid is there and the radius of the liquid is capital R. Okay, the pressure inside the liquid drop is P with radius R. Now suppose because of the excess pressure inside the liquid, the radius has increased by del R, and now the total radius of the liquid drop is R plus del R. See, here is the center of, okay, so from center now the new radius is R plus del R. Okay, I hope you have understood the diagram. Okay, inside one bold line circle is there, that is the original size of the drop with a pressure P, but because of excess pressure inside the liquid, the size of the drop increases and the radius increases by del R, and then total radius become R plus del R. Okay, so now suppose uh, inside the liquid the pressure is acting normally, so here it is shown by that arrow signs. The pressure is equal in all the direction, okay, normally. Now let new radius be R plus del R. So here you can see the old radius was R, okay, and new radius is R plus dr. So what will be the increase in surface area? See, the formula, the equation for surface area is 4 pi r square. Initially when the radius was r. So that time the initial surface area was 4 pi r square. Now when the radius of the drop has increased, it becomes r plus dr. So now what will be the new surface area? It will be 4 pi r plus dr square. So what is the total increase in surface area? Okay, by how much the surface area has been increased? That we can find out by subtracting the initial surface area from the final one. Okay, so here increase in surface area dA is equals to 4 pi r plus dr square minus 4 pi r square. Now here r plus dr square is written, r plus dr whole square. Here we will apply the a plus b squares formula and we open the bracket. After opening the bracket, we multiply 4 pi inside. Okay, so we will have this. We will have 4 pi r square plus 4 pi dr square plus, see, 2ab is there, so 2r dr will be there. When we multiply 4 pi to that, it will become 8 pi r dr. Okay, this we will get. And also we have minus 4 pi r square, so that minus 4 pi r square and this 4 pi r square, this one will get cancel. Okay, then we will have this term and this term left there. So there dA equals to 4 pi dr square plus 8 pi r dr. Okay, now because dr, that is increase in radius, is very small, so its square will be so small that it can be neglected. Okay, so we will neglect that term 4 pi r square. So after neglecting that term, we will have dA equals to 8 pi r dr. So this is the increase in surface area of the drop because of the excess pressure inside the drop. Now because the surface area has increases, some change has been done here. That means some amount of work is done here. Okay, and work done in increasing the surface area by dA, that is there is increase in the surface energy. So W equals to S into dA. Okay, we have value of dA 8 pi r dr. When we put it here, so we have this formula, W equals to 8 pi r dr into S. Again we know that work equals to force into displacement. Okay, and here the force is applied by pressure only. Okay, we know that pressure equals to force upon area, so force equals to pressure into area. So in place of F we will put P into A. Okay, and in place of D, that is displacement, we will put dr. Displacement means how much change is there in their position. So initially the radius was r, now the change in radius is dr. So in place of D we put dr. So we have W equals to PADR, where A is the area. Now area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. When we put that here, we have P into 4 pi r square dr. Okay, so now this is the work done when there is increase in surface area. This is the work done by the pressure inside the drop. Okay, so this one and this one, they both are the work done on that liquid drop, so they both will be equal to each other. So here when we are equating them both, that time what happened, that time this dr will be cancelled by dr, pi will be cancelled by pi, 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. Okay, and this 1 r will get cancelled with this r. So what we have left now? At right hand side we have P R, and the left hand side we have 2 into S. Okay, so after transporting R this side, we have P equals to 2S upon R. I hope this whole derivation part is clear to you. So in this derivation, what we have done? We first assume that inside the liquid pressure is P, radius is R. Because of this pressure, the radius has increased. The pressure is working normally at all the direction, in all the direction. That's why the radius has increased by del R, and the now new radius is R plus dr. Okay, and then we have find out increase in surface area, which is final surface area minus initial surface area. From there we have got this formula, dA equals to 8 pi r dr. After getting the increase in surface area, we have derived formula for work. Okay, so in terms of surface area, we have the first formula of work, 8 pi r dr into S. Then in terms of work done by pressure, we have another equation for work, that is W equals to P into 4 pi r square dr. Both the equations are of work only, so we have equated them both. Okay, whatever quantities are cancelled up, we have cancelled, and after rearranging, we have P equals to 2S upon R. So this is the formula for excess pressure inside the liquid drop. Okay, so how much pressure, extra pressure is there? It is 2S upon R. So here you can see that pressure, if surface area is fixed, so that time pressure is inversely proportional to R. That means if the radius of the liquid drop will increase, the pressure will decrease, and if the radius will decrease, the pressure will increase. Okay, then here we have discussed about the liquid drop, but what will happen in case of liquid bubble? See, in case of bubble, we are having two free surfaces. The bubble is hollow from inside. Are you understanding this? The liquid drop. In case of liquid drop, it is filled from inside. Okay, and the side which is towards the atmosphere, that side only is free. So we are having one free surface there. But in case of bubble, the bubble is hollow from inside. So we are having two surface in case of bubble. One is outer surface and one is inner surface. So in case of bubble, the surface area, the increase in surface area will be twice in comparison with the drop. So that's why if we have to find out the excess pressure of a bubble, we will multiply this equation by 2. So P equals to 2 into 2S upon R. So we will have 4S upon R. Now suppose this bubble, okay, this bubble which we are talking about is inside a liquid. Sometime you might have seen that inside the liquid also some bubbles are formed. So if the bubble is inside the liquid, then again the bubble is having only one free surface, that is inside the bubble. Outside liquid is present there. So inside only one free surface is there. So that time again, if the bubble is inside any liquid, so that time again pressure will be P equals to 2S upon R only, because that time only one free surface will be there. But if the bubble is not inside any liquid but outside somewhere, so that time we have to multiply this formula by 2, because that time bubble will have two free surfaces. Okay, so I hope this excess pressure in case of liquid drop and bubble is now clear to you all.